Eh? Eh? It's so good. Oh man. Hi fairies! Welcome back to my channel and the final episode of my wedding dress diaries. Last time I finished the skirt, but before I get to attach it to the bodice, I gotta take care of the straps. To do this, I'm trying it on so that I can see how long I need the strap to be. I pinched the strap at that length and marked it with a washable marker. I also marked on the inside of the bodice where the strap needs to go. I seam ripped that area open, trimmed the strap just below the marked length so I had some wiggle room, and fed the strap end into the bodice between the lining and the outside layers. Next, I re-sewed that area shut, making sure that I backstitched over the strap to help reinforce it. That little thing will be carrying a lot of weight, so it needs all the help it can get. With both straps in place, it's finally time to attach the bodice and the skirt. This part was especially tricky not to catch the skirt wrong when sewing. I was basically sewing blind, and I can only go by feel to make sure the fabric isn't bunching up underneath. As hard as I tried to keep the fabric in place, it still caught a little in some areas. So I had to seam rip those spots and go over it again. I finally got it right, and zigzag stitched over the raw edges inside to stop the fabric from further fraying. Before I can try it on though, I need to cut a slit down the back of the skirt to install the zipper. I didn't feel like filming myself struggling with zippers, so we're gonna skip ahead to the exciting part. Guys. It still fits a bit loose up here, so I need to adjust the straps a bit more, make them shorter, and then put a clasp up here. That's about it, I think. Oh, I also need to fix this part back here where the zipper ends. It looks a bit silly right now, but oh. It took me a few tries to get the zipper just right, but I think I finally got it to a place where I'm happy with it. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. So yeah, I guess the last major things that I have to do are the sleeves and the butterfly, and then the rest is just details and fine-tuning. So I can't believe it. Oh man, I'm so excited. Look at the twirl. I just don't want to take this off. I just want to twirl for the rest of the day. I'm so excited. I was getting dizzy from twirling too much, so I relented and took the dress off to keep working. I added a bias tape to cover the inside seam because it felt really scratchy. I also added ribbon over the inside of the zipper to help protect the raw edges from fraying. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. It's butterfly time. I made some little darts on the sides to help it form to the bodice shape better. Then I simply clipped it in place and sewed it on around the edges and down the middle. And she's on! It worked so perfectly. So I guess I'm not doing the sleeves because I can't figure out how to hem them. It is such fine, delicate fabric, and doing a rolled hem by hand on a circle this size is so hard. I can't find any YouTube tutorials. Hemming the larger circles for the skirt was hard enough. So like small circles for the sleeves is not working. I'm so frustrated. Oh well, at least it looks really good without the sleeves. So there's that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give up on the sleeve idea. The sleeve situation was really testing my patience, so I ended the day with an easy task of joining the ruffle skirt layers together. I thought this would help keep the fabric from bunching up as I move around. I whipped up a really quick tulle veil by cutting a round bottom and bunching up the top to a hair comb. I then spent some time adding chiffon butterfly embellishments. This dress has been a literal labor of love. Every time I look at it, I just can't believe that what I imagined in my head actually exists now. I am really proud of all that I accomplished with this. I definitely learned a lot, and if I were ever to make another gown, I would do things a bit differently. I would plan ahead more and not wing it so much. Even though that's when I feel like I get my most creative, is when I don't necessarily plan everything out and I just let things happen the way they happen. I don't know, I guess it makes me feel more in control of it as an artist rather than following a map. Instead, I'm creating the map as I go, if that makes sense. Even though doing things that way does create more stress, it also feels more rewarding to me, and I think it's worth it. And you can't necessarily plan everything out. Like, there will always be something that won't go exactly the way you thought it would. You know, that's just the nature of projects. The more I work on this project, the more I'm realizing the inspirations for the design. This dress is pretty much the conglomeration of pretty dresses that I remember from my childhood. Not necessarily childhood, but more my favorite movies. In my first video, I mentioned being inspired by the 2015 live-action Cinderella ball gown, and that's definitely a big inspiration for me. But I also realized that I drew inspiration from Hermione Granger's Yule Ball gown, this flowy design, and also my original flutter sleeve design was inspired by her gown. And one friend that I had shown the original sketch design to said that it reminded them of the Barbie Swan Lake dress, which I totally see it. It didn't even occur to me that it looked like that. But it totally does. I love Barbie movies, and you know, my goal was to create a fairy princess gown, and that's what I did. I guess you don't really realize how impactful some things are until you start creating things for yourself. I love movies. I'm a movie girl. And I also love costuming. At my college, I worked in the theater department making costumes for the plays, and that was so much fun. It was just incredible, and it made me appreciate costuming in movies and theater and all that even more than I already did. And that experience really gave me a lot of my sewing skills. And I'm really grateful that I had that time and that I'm able to do stuff like this. I was definitely very self-taught back in high school. I wanted to learn how to sew, so I just started hand stitching things. I'm so amazed at how far I've come from, you know, hemming a dress for the first time to like creating my wedding gown. Is just insane. I'm very grateful for all my experiences and knowledge that I've accumulated, and that's part of why I originally made this YouTube channel, was to share my sewing knowledge and projects and my love for fashion. I think I'm gonna keep sewing beads onto this until I can't anymore. I could just keep going. I could work on this for months and months. Sewing all these beads on it is kind of relaxing too. It's very therapeutic. I'm just happy that I have this dress pretty much done. This dress was the biggest thing that was stressing me out about the entire wedding thing. I'm not scared to be married. I'm so excited, and now that I have this dress done, I can just take a deep breath and relax and wait for the day to come, which is really soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched all of these videos in the series, it was quite a lot of work, but it was so much fun to make, and I'm just really grateful that I was able to do this in the first place and share it with you guys and keep these memories forever on the YouTubes. Your guys' support means so much to me. I will see you guys on my wedding day. Bye!
I didn't feel like filming myself struggling with zippers, so we're gonna... I didn't feel like filming myself struggling with the zippers, so we're going to skip ahead to the exciting part. Bleh. I didn't feel like filming myself struggling with zippers, so we're gonna skip ahead and... Oh my gosh. I didn't feel like filming myself struggling with zippers, so we're going to go ahead and skip to the exciting part. Oh my gosh, why can't I say that?